Alright. Welcome to SideboardMTG. My name's Eric, and it's Sunday, Subscriber Sunday, where we play our decks from the Reddit. And when I say our, I mean the community's decks. All of your guys, your decks, honestly. If you guys want to get in on the Reddit, all you got to do is check the link in the description box below. Go over to the Reddit. Doesn't cost you a thing. Post your decks. Get some feedback. Give some feedback. Get some votes. Give some votes. It's just kind of one of those. You're going to get out of it what you put into it. If you put more work into it, become a member of the community, you're going to get more feedback from the rest of the community. It just kind of, that's how Reddit works. Alright? Reddit works in a lot of other ways, but on our subreddit, that's how things work. So if you want to get your decks played, get over there, get those decks posted, because if you don't get them posted, they're not going to get any votes, and, well, they're not getting played on Subscriber Sunday. So, as always, if you like these decks, don't forget to give them a thumbs up. More and more people would be able to see them with more likes, so, you know, help these guys get their decks out there, their ideas, their creations. And tonight we have some completed decks, and then we have one that got a lot of votes that Zaxadillo said that he would like to see work. So we're going to be playing around with that. I hope you guys like it, and if you like this content in general, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, all the YouTube things. If you want to help support the channel, there's a way you can do that in the link in the description box below. Whether that's by Patreon, or you can just join us right here on YouTube Gaming. Either way, let's take a look at our decks here, right? I guess we should go ahead and say before we get started, if you guys want to play these decks, it's very easy. If you have manatraders, all you gotta do is just click, load your deck, rent the cards, and bam, you can get right into a league. Manatraders will even sell you tickets or buy tickets off of you via PayPal. So a lot of options there. Links in the description box below, along with a 15% off your first 3 months coupon. So if you guys want to get in on that, there's just all kinds of things. Let's talk about Magic, right? So first here we've got Helm of Shalai. We're going to be starting out with, it was mentioned in chat just a moment ago, all of these decks are white. Everyone was voting. So I normally don't pull up the Reddit or anything, and I'm not going to right now, but this first deck had 9 votes. So it was by far ahead of the rest. We had a couple more that came in at just under that with like 5, and then some with 4. Remember, Reddit, you can upvote, you can downvote, that sort of thing. So, Steven, how you doing, sir? Justin Clay, Justin, man, you missed it by like, you were right there with the votes, and I really wanted to play your deck, but I also wanted to play some decks by other people. So, and they were just right up there above you, man. Sorry about your votes there. If we would have been able to get rushed to give you one more vote, you'd have been ahead. You know, right? Chris, today is your 40th birthday or birthday? It's your 40th birthday. Okay, well, happy birthday. I hope it's a good one. Trigger. Happy birthday, man. Seriously, happy 40th. Makes you about a little over half a decade older than me. Yeah, that's, it's coming. I know it. You wish your Rakdos Vehicles deck on Reddit got votes. Yeah, well, I mean, it's Rakdos Vehicles, man. It's red, black, aggro. At this point, it's kind of like Teamer Energy. No one's really excited about seeing more versions of red, black, aggro. Like, honestly, even I am getting sick of seeing red, black, aggro. Tried to play Arena a little bit. Arena was just full of red, black, aggro, mono red, aggro, mono green. Just full of those decks. Craziness. Kirsch talking about the squad. This deck looks good. I'm curious about this deck. It looks like we're just going to be trying to, you know, play Shalai, Voice of Plenty, or play like Benelish Marshal, something along those lines. We've got a nice curve here with Dauntless Bodyguard into a Knight of Grace and into a Benelish Marshal, and then we can just start like copying it and stuff like that from there. At least we got Vizier in many faces, which will allow us to copy the opponent's creatures and stuff like that. So, you know, that's going to be really good. I'm assuming that we're just copying Benelish Marshal as many times as we possibly can, and then just doing like just crazy stupid stuff in the late game, maybe getting a Zatalpa down with 3 or 4 Benelish Marshals, and you know, he's got hexproof along with flying, double strike, vigilance, trample, indestructible. Yeah, seems good. But yeah, you mentioned it, Helm of the Host. This is kind of one of those cards this is kind of built around. Now, there's a bit of a combo here with Shalai. At the beginning of your combat, on your turn, create a token that's a copy of equipped creature, except that token isn't legendary if equipped creature is legendary. That token gains haste. There is nothing there saying that you know, you're going to exile this creature at the end of turn, at the end of combat. No, this token is going to stick around, and if you copy something like Shalai, Voice of Plenty, then you are going to have this effect on the board twice. You, planeswalkers you control, and other creatures you control have hexproof. So the first Shalai will give the token hexproof. The token will give Shalai hexproof. Your entire board becomes hexproof. You are untargetable. They are untargetable. No Settle the Wreckage to worry about. They're not going to be removing Shalai. Board wipe only. Like, seriously, Fumigate only, major board wipe. That's the only thing that's going to work. If you have a couple copies of Benelish Marshal down, you can get Benelish Marshal to a 6 power somehow, which this deck may actually be able to do that. If you can get your Benelish Marshals to a 6 power, you're not even worried about Hour of Devastation. I mean, it can potentially grow out of hand. So, probably different for the Quick Constructed or Ladder. Yeah, they're actually, from what I understand, they're removing Competitive Constructed out of Arena. Arena is not going to be that kind of gameplay. It's going to be kind of like one game, you know, not really sideboarding and things like that. And like Competitive Constructed's not gone, from what I understand. Like, they're just going to be rotating through what's going to be there and not. But if you can't play Competitive Constructed on MTG Arena, then it's definitely not going to be a place where you're going to want to do some testing and things like that. You know, that's just kind of one of those things. Like, I don't know about Arena. Like, if we can't test there, then what real good is the playing online, unless they're going to have some major tournaments that have a chance to get you onto the Pro Tour or something like that. I mean, other than that, you're just playing it for fun. And Magic's fun, but it's also about, I want to win. I want to be that, you know, that best at the shop or something like that. And that's the thing. This deck's got a lot of other really cool cards that are worth mentioning. A Valiant Knight. Other knights you control get +1/+1, and knights you can control can all get double strike for 5 mana. You could mirror image a Valiant Knight, or just have 5 mana the turn after you play Valiant Knight, and just do some really crazy things. So yeah, you've only been playing competitive on there, really? I was told that Competitive Constructed is going away on MTG Arena. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, I may have just got bad information. If that is wrong, then someone let me know. And not that it's going away. It's just going to be rotating. They're just going to have so many available slots for formats, and you know, like this week this one will be available, and then the next week, you know, something else will be available and stuff. So Valiant Knight without History of Benalia. Well, we've got Benelish Marshal, we've got Knight of Grace, we've got our Dauntless Bodyguard. These are all knights, and you know, why do you need History of Benalia when you can just start like copying Valiant Knight? So, you know, there's some action there. Either way, that is basically the gist of this deck. We're going to be taking Helm, trying to copy things like Shalai, Benelish Marshal, Knights of Grace, things like that. And this is Subscriber Sunday, so expect me to try to talk to chat a little bit more. Yeah, history is just pure value. I got you. We've also got Essence Scatter, Negate, Search for Escanta, Resplendent Angel, and oh, well, wait for it, History of Benalia in the sideboard. Why it's in the sideboard, I'm not 100%. The deck's probably stronger with it in the main. We're going to toy around with it a little bit. We'll see what happens. Settle the Wreckage, and then a couple Lyra Dawnbringers. We all know what Lyra does, right? She makes Resplendent Angel trigger every turn. That's what she does. Yeah. Pretty cool deck. I look forward to playing it, so let's go play it. Bam! We got a game against Locktender. You tending to the locks there, Locktender? Great way to wind down before your first day of class. Wow, everyone is going back to school, going back to work, all of those things. That's who was it that just said they were going back to work? Oh man, I just missed it. Let me get into chat right here real quick. Can we keep this? We've got white source. We can get that down. We're not necessarily wanting to put this down on turn 1. We got a Benelish Marshal that we're not going to be able to play on turn 3 unless we draw some stuff. Turn 2 we can start cycling a cast out. This is not really that great of a hand, you know. I mean, we got 4 mana, but I would rather have like 3 mana and 4 spells. But I mean, if we mulligan, we're just going down. I think I can mulligan once. Yeah, I think I can mulligan once here. Oh no, it got worse. It got so much worse. It's getting worse. I can't mulligan again. It got so much worse. Oh my goodness. How many lands are in this? I didn't even look. Lands. Oh no. 25 lands. Okay, alright. So we should trust that the deck is going to provide us with some lands. Okay. Land. Alright, let's do this. I should have kept the 4 land hand. I mean, it just looks so bad. Like, it was like, okay, 1 drop we don't actually want to cast on 1. And then, yeah. Rupture Spire is not bad. Oh, look. There's that 1 drop. Sorry, Locktender. I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to concede. I'm going to jump into another game. Yeah, I'm going to be that guy. Just because I would like to show off this deck a little bit more, and even though it looked like a bad hand against anything with any power, we were not going to win with that. I mean, if they remove our 1 drop, or if we wait till turn 3 and hope we draw another white source to play a Benelish Marshal, we're just so far behind that we're just not going to be doing anything. So yeah, we're gonna try again. I've got 2 land. This ain't exactly where I want to be. Both of those create white. We only need 1 more white source to start getting down to Benelish Marshal. I'm a little scared after our first little run in here. So we're going to try to play Knight of Grace on turn 3. So that... Oh my goodness. We're right back against Locktender again. Wasn't that just fun? That's just fun. Oh, can't play that. That ain't what I wanted to click. I wanted Knight of Grace. At least he's not going to Fatal Push it. Rough draws. Hey, look. We have all creatures. And now Knight of Grace? Even better. Right? Even better. Now it swings for 3 power. Yeah, Knight decks are going to be really, really good after rotation. They just happen to pull like 90% of the power necessary to be a really good deck straight from from the last set that came out. I want to hide the fact that we just drew this land, so I'm going to go ahead and play my Glacial Fortress here. You know, I want to use my mana though. He knows about the knight, so let's make another knight. And then next turn we can drop Shalai, or we can drop Benelush Marshal. Now, unfortunately, we can't use something like Vizier Many Faces to copy Shalai, because then we would have 2 legendary creatures there. So we can't do that, but we can copy like Benelush Marshal or something like that. We're also going to be hitting pretty heavy here. Like this is going to be something, a force to be reckoned with against this black-white deck. As of right now, they pretty much, yeah. I'm just going to slam this Benelush. Yep, this seems like the way to go. I mean, we're hitting for 8 per turn. Yeah, you've got it. You've got to stop that. That Kite Sail's just got to become a chump blocker there. Plus, you know, Kite Sail becoming a chump blocker actually dies during first strike combat. So if we would have had, I don't know, other things that didn't have first, I don't know, we would. Nah, it doesn't work because nothing else has the effect of growing. So yeah, he didn't save himself any damage. Cast down. No. I think I just swing here. Unfortunately, like, there's not a lot he can do, and playing Shalai just to give the guys a benefit is not exactly what I'm looking for. I really just want to just have some more Knights of Grace. I mean, if he plays a black permanent at all, then you know we're just getting in there. So, yeah, I'm just gonna stick with this plan of, you know, Knights of Grace and go from there. Ooh, what has he got? 5 mana, Cleansing Nova, destroy them all. They sided in Plummet, but you had a Syncopate. What? I've missed so much over here in chat. You're not a big fan of the Wizard Tribal deck yet? Understood. I definitely understand that. Well, one of the problems with running so many copy spells is it's not a creature when you really need it to be a creature. He can Vraska's Contempt this, and I'm about 90% sure he's got a Vraska's Contempt. So, yeah. Eldest Reborn! Oh, goodness. Goodness gracious. Yeah. Well, there's the game. We've lost. We have lost. Valiant Nuts. Well, I mean, we can hit him for 6 next turn. No, wait. We hit him for 8 next turn. Yeah, we could hit him. No, we can't. Not for 8. Is this another Cleansing Nova? Vraska. Is he down tick Vraska? Down tick on the Vraska. Yeah, we've lost. This is over. It's over. Yeah, blue-white loses. Fumigate and Cleansing Nova is a very poor substitute. As long as it's a board wipe for 5 mana, that's what matters. Yeah, Fumigate gives life gain, but you know, the main amount of life gain that you're getting from those is just the fact that there's nothing we can do. Alright, well, game over. So far with playing this deck, the first thing I want to say is there's just too many copy creatures. Mirage Mirror, or not the Mirage Mirror, but Mirror Image. I don't like that. I don't like that card. Just don't. Just don't like it. Yeah? You can have it. You can have it. I mean, I was going to cast it just to keep him from getting it, but if there's something happens and we're able to do something else, I don't know. This is over anyway. Oh, Stream Boss. What's going on, Stream Boss? Stream Boss reloads. Oh, what happens? Boom! Little SideboardMTG one's just busting out of the cup there. Those are subscribers. Look at that! A card! Oh my goodness. This reminds me of Cirrus. His Abzan control list. I don't know if you guys watch Cirrus or not. By the way, guys, something I wanted to point out to you guys. Those of you that settle the score. Yeah, you can have the settle the score. Because I'm stupid. If you'll check the little information right up here, we've got a member of the community that has posted what looks like to be one of his first Magic videos. Rocker CCR was telling us not too long ago that he was going to record some of his gameplay on Arena of his Revel in Riches deck and put that up for people to look at. There's if you just click right above, you'll find the link to it. There's information about it over on the Reddit if you guys want to check that out. But Rocker CCR is, for better or worse, at least going to be toying around with some streaming. So just trying to show a little bit of love to another member of our community. And he's got some really cool deck ideas, and he's from time to time, I guess he's going to be trying to record those and put those on YouTube for us to have a little bit more content to watch. So if you guys want to check that out, there should be a little information icon like right up in there. Yeah, clicky click. Anyway, check it out. Rocker CCR, his Revels in Riches. So yeah. Rock the fellow streamer support, right? Hey, I love helping out other streamers. I was helped out a lot when I first got started. I still get help from time to time when I pop into other streams, chats and things like that. People give me shout outs and things. So I want to make sure that we're shouting out for other people as well. Now, here with Search for Escanta, we'd only be looking for non-creature spells. Like, I don't know. I'm basically just taking away all of my removal, almost all of my removal, and I want almost all of my removal. I want the negates, and let's bring in Lyra, right? And then I'm going to take out one Shalai. Bring in Resplendent Angel. I want the other Resplendent Angel. And take out a Vizier. So, I mean, I get that the idea of this deck is all about making, copies of things like that. Right, yeah, Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming. I forget that you're a member of his community too. You've actually been a member of his community for quite some time, haven't you, Steven? Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming is actually, he left us for a little while. He left YouTube. He went to stream, or he went to Twitch. But it looks like he's back on YouTube. So, welcome back, Ryan. I think we keep this. I think we just kind of have to. We're still a white source away from being able to get in on this Benelish Marshall. But we did bring in a lot more threats and things like that. So, yeah. Jason says, what are we playing? Just join. Jason, we actually, this is the first deck of the night. We're playing the basically blue-white copycat, blue-white knights, blue-white something. We've got a blue-white humans coming up a little bit later. We're going to be trying that. This is a Shalai deck where we're trying to make copies of Shalai and just, you know, kind of roll with that. So, yeah. Jason, is it Cockerel or Cockerel? I'm sure I'm messing it up. I'm sure I'm messing up your name. But either way, I am going to actually play the other white source just in case we top like a Glacial Fortress or another Plains. We could play the Benevolent Marshal next turn. Definitely want to get started with our Knights of Grace, and go from there. Went and played some disc golf today. You know, it's Sunday. Me and the wife try to play disc golf on Sunday. Got him again. We try to play disc golf on Sunday, and it's always a lot of fun. Only got 2 birdies. Which made up for my 2 bogeys. The rest of the course, you know, I was shooting par. It's not bad. We'll go Knight of Grace here. I mean, even though he knows we just drew it, at least it's a play we can make. I mean, maybe I should have played it second main phase so he wouldn't have known to block or not to block, but yeah. Freebooter Whiffs. Yeah, I like Freebooter Whiffs, but I actually like it better when they look at your hand and your hand has so much removal, they're like, oh, crap. Yeah. Cokel? Is how it's pronounced. Cokel? 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 Probably still putting the wrong emphasis. Putting the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable. Yeah. If you're dissing under 3, that's a good game in your book. What? Oh yeah, oh, you're talking about disc golf. It took me a minute. Yeah, I normally shoot about par. Like I'm not amazing by any means whatsoever. But about par is about where I'm at. Which is that's cool. I mean, I'm pretty good with it. Pretty sure it's pronounced Shalai. I thought I pronounced it Shalai. Shalai, voice of plenty. Shalai. See, I think that would just like it would depend on where the origins of the name came from. Like, Shalai could easily be Arabic, and at that point it would definitely be Shalai. But if it wasn't Arabic, then it probably would be like Shalai. I don't know, Miss Katie. I don't know. Do you hear this accent? Do you hear this accent? Yeah, like pronunciation and being correct is not something that's going to happen here. That is not. We're just not going to be able to get there. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I'm going to play a pre-combat Benevolent Marshal just because it seems good, right? Does it seem good? What's the South? Never heard of it? Sure. I guess he has to Veroska's Contempt. Nothing? No Veroska's Contempt? Nowhere? Nowhere to be had? Nowhere to be had. Alright, well, here comes that board wipe. Okay, so now we have to start trying to clean up with Lyra Dawnbringer and some Benevolent Marshals. Ooh. Oh, Benevolent. Alright, well, I mean, that's where we're at. That's what we're doing. Unfortunately, he's just going to play, you know, an Eldest Reborn, eat our one dude, and then it's kind of just, like, over. Yeah. We have to get so much down so fast that we're just not going to catch back up. Maybe we should have just kept swinging. Just keep swinging, just keep swinging. We're going to discard the Vizier mini faces. You're playing Knights versus Vampires on MGO. Awesome. Oh, there we go. Kite sail free boot time. No Helm. We have just not seen a Helm. Even though we haven't seen a Helm, it just wouldn't do us much good anyway. I don't want to play this Shalai because, like, I feel like we're just going to get hit by another Eldritch Reborn. Happens though. I mean, he goes Voice of Flint, our dear many faces. He's our Lyra Dawnbringer, and then yeah. Yep, that's how it works. I don't think this deck, without having any type of control cards in it whatsoever, 2 negates is not enough to fight against any type of control deck. So, like, one of the first pieces of advice I'm going to give is, you're blue-white. Be blue-white. Be mono-white Knights, then go play mono-white Knights or black-white Knights. If you're going to be blue-white, like, what was the point of being blue? For a couple counter spells, and then you're going to skimp out on 2 negates? Come on, man. We gotta have a little bit more than that. I am just gonna play everything here though. And we're gonna copy Lyra, or not copy Lyra, but protect Lyra, so we can swing in. I mean, he may just seal it away. Well, that buys us a ton of time. I mean, we gain 5 life there. Search is the engine for any Teferi deck, especially Nexus. Okay, so Search is in this deck, but, like, seriously, how much are you going to be searching up? There's almost like no control cards in it. It feels like Search for Escanta is just going to whiff non-stop. I would rather have something that was just pure card draw instead of 2 Search for Escantas in this particular version. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we just gain back anything he's swinging at for us. I mean, if he doesn't have to settle, we're just going to get all of that back. Chosen creature is Night Token. It's got to be this one, though, right? It has to be this Night Token. So when this one loses Summoning Sickness and gets stacked on here, I'll never know which Night Token it was. Right? I'm sure that's going to come into play. And we're going to lose for it. Okay. Oh, goodness. Oh, he scooped it up. Awesome. Awesome. Well, I mean, we got to cast out. We could cast out the Lyra and then just kind of swing on him. So, I mean, we had some action there. He was going to be able to gain 5, but we had quite a bit. So, like, look at Search for Escanta here, right? Without anything else, we've got a total of 2 cast outs, 2 negates, Helm of the Host, History of Benalia, 2 settles, 3 sealaways, 2 essence scatters. Like, it just doesn't actually feel like at any one point you're ever going to have that much control. So, in a game where you're actually wanting to fight against control, you're bringing in Search for Escanta for more card draw. But against control, don't you want to take out cards like Seal Away and Settle the Wreckage? You want to take out cards like Essence Scatter, and against control, you definitely want to bring in more threats like History of Benalia and Negate. Like, I just don't think that History or Search for Escanta is like the right type of draw for a deck like this. Yeah, I mean, having draw is great, but I don't think this is exactly where you want to be, because you're in the matchups where you want Search for Escanta. You don't want half of your other spells that Search for Escanta could find. So in that point, you're spending 4 mana to not do anything, and that doesn't feel really good. Honestly, I would rather the deck just be in like green or something like that, and just use just have green mana and use, you know, like Lifecrafter's Bestiary or something. And, you know, I get it. Like, maybe this deck is actually meant to be, you know, rotation proof or something like that. I don't think there's anything rotating out other than Cast Out. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe there's something I'm not seeing here with Search for Escanta. Maybe you guys could point that out for me. But I just really think that anything that would actually, like, truly give you a card would just be better. Like, just a guaranteed card, that's going to be better. Hey, we got a Helm on the Host. We got 2... Like, we can go History of Benalia. Like, this is where we really want to be, so. Yeah, you'd rather have green here, James? Yeah, I think I would, too. I really do. I mean, green sounds really good in this deck. I mean, it's just Shalai copy deck, so, I think it's one of those decks that look good on paper, like, okay, I see what you're doing, but then doesn't work out. Is this Justin's deck? I don't think so. Link in the like, if you look in the description, it says who's the deck builder. I don't think Justin's deck got enough votes this week, unfortunately, which is rare for Justin. Justin's one of those guys that's like, yo, vote on my deck, and people vote on his decks because he's normally got some pretty cool decks. So, yeah, there you go. That guy, like Dark Demonic or something like that. Direfleet Poisoner. I mean, I guess we just run into it with that Night token. Castle. Undo. Take a pain. You ever thought that, you know, people just like you? Dustin Hill, all the blue makes it hard for a turn 3 Marshal. We've talked about the petals in the past, and many times I've had a major problem with the petal cards. Well, you can have a Rupturing Spire. That the petal cards are just really, really hard to cast with more than 3 sources that are outside the color. So that's my my rule of thumb. I don't want to see more than we know he's going to be able to get that Cleansing Over back, right? We don't have a way to make any of this indestructible. What is... I think we can afford to lose a Valiant Knight here. I really just, you know, want to... I want to clear the board here, but I know he's just going to be like land, downtick Karn, get Cleansing Nova, wipe board. Pretty sure that's how this turn plays out. Maybe we should have just Helm of Host, and then next turn like played and then just kind of went from there. You can have Swamp, which is still not what I want to do. Would we have seen Cleansing Nova if he had it? Karn. Him. Settle. We'll settle action. I thought about playing Shalai to save myself from the settle, but I also wanted a ton of white mana. So I'm grabbing all planes here. Like, look how many islands are in this deck. I don't think that's where you want to be either. I really don't. I just don't. So now Cleansing Nova and destroy all enchantments or artifacts? Maybe. That might be what he does. I mean, I thought about playing the Shalai to protect myself, but I also thought, hey, if we trade these 3 dudes in, we can play Benelish next turn. Kind of go from there. We'll see. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, and then having 1, 2, 3, 4 left for equipping. Sunpetal Grove. If you want that, I need you to start down ticking for it. So if we get an untapped land off the top, there's Vraska. She's going to pop this. She has to pop this. Well, has that happened? So we'll go Shalai, a Voice of Plenty. Benelish Marshall. Now, I'm sure you can just like tick down, grab a cast down, do some other things, probably just burn this anyway. I don't think that you could possibly beat this deck with this particular creature deck. You're going to need some duresses. You're going to need other ways to interact with the deck. And with white-blue, especially the blue that we currently have, you're just not going to have that. You're just not going to have what you need to interact here. So, unfortunately, like, settle the score, just gave him 2 additional counters on his Vraska. He hasn't even upticked it yet. Ticks it 2 more. Bam. Bam. Slam. Bam. Thank you, ma'am. Here, have another Vraska. Can't deal with the first one. Have another. Oh, look at what we did. I mean, he can down tick, get a Cleansing Nova. We're so dead. So dead. Like, there's no point in playing at this point. Like, you will not come back from this. This deck just doesn't have the means to fight this matchup. Yeah, hit Vraska, sure. Right into this Death Touch guy. Right into... Block. Oh, just with the Menace block? Jumping. You don't care. Three islands is for sure too many. Well, 3 islands should have been like how many islands were in the entire deck, period. I don't think you should have had a single land in this deck other than maybe 3 islands or 3 colorless sources, 3 lands that didn't produce white. So if there was anything that did not produce white, I don't think he could have done that. I don't think like should have. All right, Lock Tender, good game, sir. Appreciate it. Appreciate your time. I think we all kind of see how this deck's going to play out. Anyone who could, like, you couldn't even play around the board wipes, because without playing around the board wipes, they actually have enough actual control to just kind of keep you thin. That Abzan Planeswalkers or Abzan Super Friends list, I mean, they're just basically all of their creatures are either going to give them card advantage or give them some type of resiliency on the battlefield, whether it's like Vraska making dudes or Vraska destroying stuff. So yeah, Helm is just too slow for standard, right? I think that's something else we need to think about as well. Some cards aren't meant for standard. They're cool cards, and maybe you should put them in your commander decks, but maybe they're just not meant for standard. Then again, Some cards never do really well in Standard and make their way to Modern play. So, I mean, that's... I want to say Paradoxical Outcome is kind of an example of that. Very rarely have we had a Paradoxical Outcome deck in Standard that was just, oh my goodness, it was great. Like, we had it for a couple weeks. We recently got the Mono Blue deck back again. We're going to have it for about 2 or 3 months. Then it's going to rotate out. But that's a vintage-worthy card, right? Paradoxical Outcome's a vintage-worthy card. But yet, it's not really... I mean, it's good in Standard. Don't get me wrong. There's going to be... I know you guys are like, what are you talking about? Paradoxical Outcome is so good. But it is good. But it hasn't been like a dominating card in all of Standard since it's been printed. However, in something like Vintage, it is like now one of the best decks you could possibly get. So, just some cards are not meant for Standard. So, yeah. Want you to post it? Absolutely. Absolutely. Anytime you've got a deck that you want other people to see, that's what the Reddit's for. Post it there, and it just so happens that I pull the ones from each week that get the most votes, and we play them. But, like, this particular deck had a ton of feedback, a ton of comments where people were trying to say, you know, hey, try this, try that. But one of the, like, I'm going to give my... feedback on the deck, and that's basically like the ones that get the most votes. You know, I do a video on them, which is where we're at right now. You know, we're doing the video, and then like I give my opinion. All right, so cards in this deck that I'm not like. Vizier is great. I really like Vizier mini faces, but I don't. Like, I get it. If you get a Helm of the Host down with a Shalai, Voice of Plenty, Shalai, Voice of Plenty, Shalai, Voice of Plenty, Miss Katie, I want you to look up Israeth and tell me how to say that. I'm sure I'm butchering that one as well. Miss Giggs is gonna be or Trigger is gonna be my my grammar Nazi. Anyway, Shalai Voice of Plenty here, like, it's cool to be able to copy her, but I think there's a couple other just fundamentals that are here that I just really don't like. One of those being way too many blue sources. Way too many blue sources to be trying to cast something like Benelish Marshall. We get away with this in green decks. Is Ureth? Israeth? Yeah, see, I think it's Israeth. Is Ureth? See, that doesn't even sound good. You know? First off, it's a proper name, right? It's something's name. So, it could be X, right? It could just be X, and it's pronounced, you know, Bob, we had a baby, it's a boy, right? So, that's an sound. Izareth? That's okay. Izareth? Sounds like to me, Zax. Anyway. Thank you, Katie. I appreciate it. Saffron, I think, does most of his. Like, I think he does a big portion of his on purpose for, you know, tilt reasons. You know, just to mess with people, get people interacting or whatever. It works, but I don't really do that. I don't need help mispronouncing names. I'm going to do it naturally. So yeah, adding more to it doesn't really seem to be something necessary anyway. Anyway. As far as Benelish Marshall goes, I don't think we can be casting Benelish Marshall in a deck that has 7 blue sources. I just don't think that's where you want to be. I don't think that is. I don't think that's productive. Helm of the Host, even on curve, you're never going to be able to do something great with this. Oh my goodness, Bonded Courier, yeah, Bonded Courier. Every time Bonded Courier is said, I go on tilt just a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. I go and tilt a little bit over Bonded Courier. But we always mispronounce things. I'm bad about it. Like, you're saying one thing, you're saying one card, and you end up saying another card's name. But, you know, it happens. But I'm not a fan of mirror image in this deck. I think the card's cool. And if you're going to be playing it, you know, copying an Anthem seems terrific. But I think you would actually just get more value out of just mirror image being... you know, Radiant Destiny or something like that, which, you know, frees you up on your blue sources. Vizier of Many Faces, I don't think you need this. And if you don't need Mirror Image and you don't need Vizier of Many Faces, then you don't need blue. So, like, you might be able to drop some of these or something like that. I just don't think this is where you want to be, man. We got to watch it get played, and I've given my output on it, or my input on it. See, like, why do we say input? Like, I'm giving it out. I'm not receiving information on it. I'm giving out information. My output. Trigger. I'm triggering myself at this point, guys. I'm triggering myself. Like, what? Anyway, Benelush Marshal, if you're going to be playing one of the petals, and that's what I call all of these three of the same color creatures, the petals here, don't have more than 3 cards in your deck that can't cast it. Whether these are colorless for some, you know, type of utility or whatever, I don't think you want to do that unless you're trying to cast the green one. You can kind of get away with that a little bit because you have help from things like Land of War Elves. But then again, you want to cast that on turn 2, so I don't like being in multiple colors with it either. So in that case, you know, you just really need to have those first two double green. So I mean, again, I'm going to stick to my, if you want to play petals, don't have more than three off color lands in that deck. So Eric the Linguist. Anitachi Kulias in Arabi. I don't know. I learned a little bit of Arabic, or I tried to learn Arabic when I was in Iraq. But then again, I tried to learn a little bit of Spanish when I was working in the factories in Arizona too. So, you know, I learned enough to get by. I learned enough to be able to do my job. I learned enough to navigate around the city, and, you know, to let people know that, you know, why we were searching their homes and things like that. So allowed enough. I learned enough to put people at ease while we were ripping their walls apart, looking for guns and stuff like that. So yeah. Armed Services, yeah, United States Marine Corps from 2004 to 2009. It was good times, infantry. So yeah. But yeah, we were going into their homes a lot and stuff like that. So, you know, when you try to learn a little bit of their language to let them know that, you know, that's you know, this is why we're here. You know, we're looking for so I need to search your house for explosives. Not too long ago was 4th of July, and I told the guy at the local gas station, I was like, hello a motofetcherat. He goes, hello a motofetcherat, which is beautiful explosives. Fireworks, right? He's like, hello a motofetcherat. Motofetcherat never hello. You know, it's never pretty, right? And so I had to try to get him to teach me how to play or say fireworks, and he's like, we do not have this word. We do not have fireworks. So so I said, like, what do you call it then? He's like, I guess hello on motofetcherat. But yeah. Anyway, they're Lebanese. They're a little bit different. Their language is quite different. Anyway, yeah, I tried to pick up language when I'm around. I recommend anyone that goes anywhere, you try to learn their languages. Right, Jan? I mean, just saying hello is marhaba. Hold on. Marhaba. Yeah, alright. I'm making fun of their language now. I shouldn't do that. If you're Arabic, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make fun of your language. It is very hard. And one of the things that actually happened in Arabic, which is kind of cool. I'm gonna side note on this before we get back into Magic. At one point in Arabic, they did not write their vowels. their vowels are, in their written language, are a consistency of 3 dots, whether it's at the beginning or the end of the word above the word, or one in the center below the word, or a combination, like one below and the one at the beginning, or one below and the one at the end. And yeah, it's backwards. It's, you know, this way, not this way. Anyway, so yeah. When we like, originally in their language, they didn't write their vowels. Their vowels were just spoken. They were just spoken. And like, they didn't write them, and everyone just understood them. And then later their language actually digressed into a more simplified language, and it had to be written at that point, and people couldn't actually tell the difference between one word and another. So in that aspect, it was like Arabic was kind of like Korean at one point, where it was like a tonal language and then became, you know, non-tonal, which is kind of cool. So yeah, your friend is Arabic. Good thing he's not here, since he tilts so easily. Marhaba. Yeah, marhaba Siddiqui. Hello, friend. Anyway, yeah, there's Eric's little story time from Iraq right there. All right, let's get into our next deck here. This one is pretty cool. This one is more white aggro, and we've got a lot of toys to play with. No Benelish Marshall here, even though this deck would have no problems casting it. Right? You see all these. You see all these. There's one scavenger grounds. We get back up to the top. Uh-oh. I don't know. He's got 4 non-colored sources that would bite him, so maybe that's why he doesn't have the Benelish Marshals. But it's also, he's not actually a Knight's deck either. So your dad was a major in JAG Corps, posted in Germany instead, and stayed to have you after he got out. Height of the Cold War. Ew. Yeah. Better Ajani's Welcome is Fountain of Renewal. Depends on how many creatures you can have enter the battlefield per turn. I mean, Fountain of Renewal is going to give you 1 per turn, but if you can have a bunch of creatures into the battlefield, you might be able to get multiple triggers off of Ajani's Welcome, which means you'll get multiple triggers off your Ajani's Pridemate. I restarted this, by the way. I don't know why we don't have these. I don't know. So, you know, we've got this cool little life gain. This is a life gain aggro deck. So we're going to be using, you know, things like Famished Paladin, which, you know, I kind of wish we had the combo here. Magic Hefe presented us with the combo a really long time ago, and like, what happened to Magic Hefe, everyone? Anybody seen Magic Hefe lately? I need to go check his channel out. We'll see what's going on with Magic Hefe. Send him a message or something like, yo, dude, we miss you. Anyway, so Ajani's Pridemate, it's going to gain a +1/+1 counter every time we gain life. Famished Paladin, you know, it's going to untap whenever we gain life. That's the only time it's going to untap. It's not going to untap during our untap step, so, you know, that's the thing. And then we've got Knight of Grace, which, you know, we've seen, you know, that was kind of like the most powerful card in the last deck, just being able to get it out there, at least in that particular matchup. So, Aerial Response, why don't we have art? Oh my goodness. Aerial Responder here, Flying Vigilance, Lifelink. That's pretty cool all by itself, mainly because, like, you're just getting away with, like, Silhouette's not going to get a hold of you here. They need to revolt that Fatal Push before they can trigger it here. Them revolting Fatal Push and trying to do work. You know, that's I mean, we're normally okay with that, right? Unless, you know, like, we get something on first strike damage, and then before normal damage happens, they go ahead and you know, hit us with the Fatal Push, something like that. They might be able to do that. Resplendent Angel, and we're gaining all this life and things like that. If we gain 5 per turn, we start making you know, we start making our 4/4 white angel creature tokens with flying and vigilance. Not just flying and vigilance, right? So, you know, that's a thing. And then Shieldmare, I kind of like Shieldmare. It's okay. I mean, it enters the battlefield, you're gonna, or becomes the target of a spell or ability your opponent controls, you're gonna gain 3 life. Against a red deck, you're gonna gain 3 life when this comes into the battlefield. And then if they try to lightning strike it, you're gonna gain 3 more life. Plus, if you count the fact they didn't point that lightning strike right at the dome, you're going to be getting, you know, an extra 3 life. So by the time this is gone, it could have actually protected you from about 9 points of damage against a red deck. That's a huge thing. So Shield Mayor might be the shield we need. Who noticed the knife hand, right? You guys got me talking about the military, and then like I knife handed my own head. I almost took my nose off. You realize that? I almost like. All right. Anyway, cast out. Not much of any lag for you? Huh? Maybe on the camera a little bit. Maybe a little lag on the camera. My camera is crap. But 4 copies of Cast Out. We got some more Shalais. Shalai? I don't know. Anyway, a Johnny, Adversary of Tyrants. I actually think this is going to be one of the better Planeswalkers come next set. Like, this dude is... We're going to have to deal with this for the next year, guys. This thing's real. Like, a Johnny is real. I really like a Johnny, Adversary of Tyrants. He's pretty good. He is pretty doggone good, if I must say. Like, put 2 +1/1 counters on your creature. Like, put up to 1 +1/1 counter on 2 creatures. This card is good. The raw power of Knife Hand. You need to be careful when wielding it, right? That's right. Anyone who's in the military just laugh their ass off at that one, right? Come on, the Knife Hand. Them drill instructors will get you, man. They just, yeah, they just get right in there with it. Hope you don't like your personal space, because you don't have none. Lyra Voice of Planning works perfect with, Lyra Voice of Planning. Ooh, I want to see that card. Lyra Dawnbringer works perfect with Resplendent Angel. We talked about this in the last one, you know, that sort of thing. Again, all of this is going to be able to life. Like, so far, the only thing I want in this deck is more Johnny, right? Like, I want another Ajani in the main board. I want 3 of them. I want to see a Johnny every single game. I want every single game to start with a Johnny. Let's do this. Creatures and a Johnny. Creatures and, oh, you heard it, a Johnny. Let's do it. That's actually how I would really like to play this deck. I think that like a Johnny is just broken. There's so many games that you're just going to run away with a Johnny. It's great. In the sideboard, we've got Authority of the Consuls, another way to just slow down red deck, especially with something like, you know, our Ajani's Pridemate. Every time they play a creature, your Ajani's Pridemate gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Every time that you gain life, you're getting well out of their burn range to the point where not even Hazard can swing through you. If you can, like, how do we beat red deck? Gain 7 life, right? That's how you beat red deck. Gain 7 life, you beat red deck. Adanto's Bank, like, we have no art. Come on, Magic Online. Adanto's Vanguard here. You know, I love this card. I think this card's even better in decks where you can, you know, like, you know, just enchant it up, make this like your Boggles. Just because you can pay those 4 life and, you know, make it indestructible until end of turn. And if you have a way to give it lifelink, it can pretty much pay for itself. At least most of the way. It's also a really good blocker against, well, not a really good blocker against Hazard. You take 4 instead of 5. So, I don't know, against Hazard. Invoke the Divine. Personally, I know this is a life gain deck, so, like, this is probably one of the few places I would rather have this over, you know, the one that exiles that you don't gain life with. But because you gain life, I think this is the right choice with taking Invoke the Divine. Next here we've got a Gideon of the Trials, which, you know, we're going to be losing Gideon here soon. That's kind of a little bit sad. You know, I hate to see old Gids go, but until your next turn, prevent all combat or all damage that would come from a certain, yeah, Forsake the World, that's the one. But, you know, you prevent damage, and, you know, that helps buy you a little bit of time. You can always turn him into a 4/4 beater, and, you know, just, you know, get to working with that. And then, of course, you know, if you got an emblem and you're able to keep him around, then you can't lose the game. Your opponents can't win the game either. And then that's actually a key clause, because if your opponent can't win the game, a card that says they win the game, they don't win the game. So like Approach or something like that, you can get away with it. Last cards here, Settle the Wreckage, which, you know, needs no introduction, and Ixalan's Binding. If you get it on something, they're not going to cast another copy of it. So that's our mono white life gain aggro deck. Let's see if it plays plays any better. We don't have a lot of ways to control the board. So I mean, out of just like pure life game, that's pretty much like the only thing we can do. Just keep beating in and just hope that we get there. So, you know, in these aggro decks, you really can't take a turn off to kind of ramp up or get ready or something like that. Like, you need to keep the pressure coming per turn. This is a really bad hand for it, but because I can cycle on turn 1, I'm just going to roll with it. We'll see what the opponent does here. The deck does look pretty solid, Kenneth. I think the deck looks pretty decent. We'll go ahead and cycle. See if we can get a little more action here. Oh, yeah. Action-packed, baby. So, are y'all liking the uncensored me? We're just having fun, doing our thing. Alright. Some of you will. Some of you won't. I don't know. We'll see. Alright, well, moving on. Resplendent Angel is going to be pretty decent. Should be pretty decent. We'll see. There is a metallic mimic. What shall he call? It's an elf. So, Rada? Well, Rada's a thing. Alright, well, I mean, we'll swing for 2, and the main reason I sequenced that way is because I wanted to gain a little bit more life off of our, you know, Knight of Grace there. So, getting the Ajani's Welcome down, you know, this is going to help us, so. Grown up Eric with, yeah, well, I don't know about grown up. Sometimes you're not so grown up when you have to use vulgar words to express yourself. I don't try to be that vulgar, but pretty much the majority of you people are adults. Yeah, that's right. You people, all of you, all of you. Censorship is thought terrorism. Okay. Kind of like that. I mean, it sounds about right. I mean, he's not going to block here because, I mean, we've got first strike, so he's just going to keep taking the damage. Fortunately, there's not a lot we can do about it. Song of Freyleys. This card is so good. Get ready for it, guys. Come on, Lyra off the top. Right? Oh, man, wouldn't Lyra off the top be great? We do have our 6 mana, though, to start like, activating Resplendent Angel, so, I mean, that's the thing. Well, that was the reason on turn 3 I went ahead and played the Knight of Grace and the Ajani's Welcome, was I gave myself a little bit more room to be able to like protect this a little bit longer, like so it wouldn't be just there on the battlefield without being used for as many turns. You're 100% right. We're going to be actually using Field of Ruin this turn to kind of add a little bit or to thin the deck a little before our next turn. Grand Warlord Rada is huge. Ah, alright. So, hey buddy, I'm getting yelled at. The Lincoln is yelling at me. So yeah, we're probably just going to pop this land. I don't think it's going to matter as far as color goes. I don't want to thin his deck before his draw. But I'm not really worried about color because he's got, you know, Grand Warlord Rada and all these other things going on. Unfortunately, he's indestructible this turn, so we're looking at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're looking at lethal. Wow. So we're looking at, wait a minute, we're not 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15. Oh, we're not lethal. Unless he's got a burn. If he's got a burn, we're lethal. I mean, wouldn't you want to have, like, Banefire in this deck? Right? Let's see if he's got burn. I'm going to take two. I'm going to go to 2. You got me, opponent. He's got to have Banefire, right? Like, isn't that's got to be the only reason to run Ada is Banefire. So, I don't know. Did your deck make the cut? No, Russia did not. We had a lot of votes on these decks. I think yours. I think you had 3 votes, and the lowest one that got played today actually has. Has the one that had the least votes today had 4. So GX Hydra 2. GX Hydra. Which was that? GX. I don't remember which Hydra. What is GX Hydra? Why didn't he call a clan caller? I don't know. It's not sorcery on it. I mean, we gain 5 life there. We get a creature, we gain a couple more life. I mean, we got another angel, 4/4 flying angel. So, I mean, we're not just dead, and he's still got to deal with us. So, like, Song of Freyalise is over. Over. Alright, well, let's see what happens here. So we block here, we block here, we block here. Take 4. So we have to block here because these guys can't. We block here because, well, we just need to stop that amount of damage. And we just block the most since we're losing everything here. I mean, this is pretty brutal. He brings in a clan caller. What does that do? Alright, so he brings in a clan caller. It's just hitting for a little bit more. We're dead though, right? We're dead. So if I spend this 6 mana to make by 5 to gain 5 life, we gain 5 life, we'll go to 9, 10, 11, and we're dead. So yeah. Song's a really good saga. I think that Merfolk is going to be using it. It's one of the best ways that I can think of for a good creature deck to just dump their hand and come in with this like major alpha swing. Yeah, we're dead. We are dead. Can't do anything about it. The clan caller here just taking off with us, so that's pretty decent. Metallic Mimics, double Metallic Mimic was pretty good. Yeah, if we could only pump the Angel for one extra, it would have been nice. It would have been so nice. So nice. I think this is definitely a settle game. I also like Ixalan's binding here over the cast outs. Famished Paladin. I don't think that's where I want to be. What else do we have? What else can we bring in? Like Seal Away is going to be good. I kind of want Authority. Maybe like he's a creature deck too, so like at least come off of a couple of the Johnny's Welcomes for some Authority, for at least an Authority. See if that works. Invoke, Authority, Settle. What's Invoke good for? Like what would we want to invoke? Like what? So, Invoke the Divine, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Like, do we want Invoke the Divine just for Metallic Mimics? I don't think so. I don't. Song? Nah, we just gotta be able to deal with it. This will deal with Song. This will deal with Song, okay? Let him swing with all that stuff. We'll deal with Song. Yeah, I don't think that I'm worried about popping Song. Like, maybe I should be, but I don't think so. Knight of Grace into a Shield Mare, into a Johnny, holding up Settle after that. Seems good. We do need to draw some lands to make all this happen. This is driving me crazy. No art is driving me insane. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Famished Paladin either. Right? If we settle, Song doesn't matter. Like that's why I was like, let's grab that settle. Not like Song's gonna be there for a 3-turn window. And that kind of worries me a little bit because like if you don't have a way to deal with it on that turn where it's important, then you're just beat anyway. You know. Alright. What would I run in place of Paladin? Probably 2 Sillaways main board. Like, if you only got 2 Paladins in the deck in the first place, probably 2 Sillaways main board. Honestly, that's probably what I would run instead of that Paladin. Like, just give me a couple Fatal Push cards, you know? Just a couple removal cards. I think that's where I'd want to be. Okay. Flying, Vigilance, Lifelink with Aerial Responder. We could play the Sun Mare, or the Shield Mare, which isn't like that great here, but can't be blocked by Rada. I think Rada is probably the only red creature in the entire deck, so. He has heard my pleas. What? RNGesus. I think I just play the Aerial Responder and pass. I don't think I'm getting in here because of the Thorn Lieutenant. And he was smart enough to not swing, so. Gideon's back smack. I like it. Play the Flyer. Yeah, I think that's about all we can do, so. Let's just play that and pass. Well, we'll see what he's got here. It's killing me. It's killing me. It's always leaning forward now. I think I'm just going to have to sit around for like the next 2 months. Just do this and try to get it back. I gave up. I quit training it. And then the last time I trimmed it, ever since, it's just been driving me insane. Anyway, I shouldn't have a way that I can see myself there. I'm too vain. Vanguard is so bad against red, though. Really? Okay. Glue it to my face. Oh no! Look at the Bane fire. Yeah. I mean, it's basically like what beeswax does, anyways. Just bonds it together. So. Poopy says I'd be checking myself out too. I'm effing hot. I bet you are, Poopy. I bet you are. All right, so what do we want to do here? Like, I kind of want a Knight of Grace, leaving up Seal Away. Next turn, start looking at a Johnny Adversary of Tyrants. We can start plussing that, get really big on that. We might be able to get away with something here. Maybe, maybe not. Aether Sphere, Harvester. Well, Ote. Thorn Lieutenant. We're gonna have to deal with that soon. There's Pride Mate. That is a Pride Mate. I'm just going for a Johnny here. So we're just going to select these two guys and pass. I mean, yeah, he can swing at a Johnny with something like the Aether Sphere or something like that. But that's actually just going to tap a creature, which is kind of what we're looking for anyway, you know what I mean? We've got these sealaways. We want to do as much as we can here. If he's going to get in at a Johnny for a couple points, I'm okay with that. At a Johnny. It gets +4/+4. So it would have 6 power total, 7 toughness. He wipes my board for this. It's kind of bad, ain't it? It's kind of not what we want it to be. Doesn't get trampled though. Yeah, I'm gonna save one of them. I just want to be a Johnny, and I don't want to like wipe my board to do it. So if he wants to pump this, then that's fine. Yeah, it's just 6/7. I need a little bit more time before a Johnny could really take off here. Another Plains. Well, I think that's about the best I can do is just bam. We're just gonna do that. So we'll put it on one dude and then just kind of pass. Then like he can't swing. No, we're not playing the Pride Mate and the horse. No way. No way. We're just getting in for some damage. We're advertising that we have settled the wreckage. Advertising. Like we took out a 30-foot tall billboard and set it right over here. Said, I've got settled the wreckage in my hand. Come on. Come at me, bro. Come at me. Maybe he's just got one huge Banefire, right? That can't be the plan. Well, we advertised it. I mean, he gets 5 mana, but... Mason, you are late to the stream, sir. Yes, sir. Opponent, right? Dustin Heel, like, ain't said nothing in 5 minutes. All of a sudden, like, out of nowhere. Wait a minute. Hold on. Opponent. Opponent. What? The American Eagle combo deck I made. Holy cow! What's the American Eagle combo deck? What? You talking about the Jeskai combo? The Breaking Ballista deck. Yeah, that was a ton of fun, man. That's one of my favorite builds this set. Since Dominaria, like I've been kind of toying around with that. Yeah, the Tishar deck. Oh my goodness, that brew was just, it was a ton of fun. All right, so let's go ahead and do this, and then let's do this. I mean, he's got 1 card in hand. It's probably a Banefire or something like that. We would love to use this ability and get an additional +1/1 counter here. I want more first... like, this is going to grow anyway at some point. So let's just go ahead and get Shieldmare up there. And get in for 5. Settle the wreckage. Yep. Alright. Well, he swung into it. That ain't our fault. He's the one that swung into it. The deck should have Sacred Cat. You're probably right, Jan. You are probably right. Jan! Are you watching double streams right now? How's the Aggro Vengeance deck going right now? Like, I seen that pop up, and I was like, oh, man. I wonder if he's doing mean things with Aggro Vengeance right now. We've got another streamer that's... He's coming around. He's definitely growing a lot. He plays a lot of Modern. His name's Dusk Till Dawn Gaming. If you guys don't know about him, check him out. Dusk Till Dawn Gaming. You'll see the avatar, or his logo is his avatar from World of Warcraft. You'll see him standing there. But yeah, Dusk Till Dawn Gaming, really cool guy. Check out his stream. You guys like Modern. I'm just gonna run this back. I like the way we sideboard and everything. I'm just gonna run it back. True, it's just Tishar, but also a bird and the whole American Eagle thing, right? I got you. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm tracking. I'm also tracking that we don't have art for half the cards in our deck. And the fact that this game could even possibly do that aggravates me to death. Like, that aggravates me to no end. We've got some stuff. Most of this lines up really well against his early... we didn't have a Lano. But we drew land. We drew the land. Look at this. Just, we don't have any art. Like, Magic. Why? I restarted just before stream, right? Oh. Again, 3 of Johnny's I think would be nice. Yeah. Let's win this baby, right? This is your deck, isn't it, Madness? Oh, you got us, opponent. You got us. You're so good, opponent. Oh, good. You're so good at Magic. See, I wanted Ixalan's Binding that. I really wanted Ixalan's Binding that. So I'm actually playing Resplendent Angel here, even though it's not exactly what I want to do, but it profitably blocks Thorn Lieutenants. So we're going to do that. We're going to do that. And then if he plays anything of any major renown, we're just going to Ixalan's Binding. That will be Ixalan's Binding right there. I am binding that elf. Alright, I mean, I'm going to take my beating here, and then I'm going to bind that elf. Boom. Elf. Bam. Pun intended. Elf down. Whatever. Dad jokes are getting bad. My wife called me out today. She's like, I know why you're coming up with all these corny jokes lately. I'm like, what? She's like, your dad jokes are starting to kick in. It must just be a natural thing. I'm like, oh, come on. Get real. Yeah. But, yeah. B-Dub Ultra. You've been fooling around with a combustible GPG deck. It's super fun. We need to stream it. Have you not seen my Mardu Gearhulk stack? Deck's pretty good. It's pretty good. Alright, so we're in a pretty good spot, kind of. So let's get a Johnny's Welcome down, because that's the thing. And then we can get Pride Mate down. Trigger. Of course we want to use that. Knight of Grace. Trigger. Use that. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then we'll just keep chipping in the air. Everything else we can just put down on the ground. He's hurting on mana right now, which is kind of like our game one. He scooped it up. Can't take it. Can't take it. We were just going too hard, too fast. All right. I want my art. It's driving me crazy. I'm gonna pull the art up. We'll talk about this. Like I'm restarting. Apparently, you restart, you get your art back. So yeah. Opponent is too aggro to bluff. Well, you know, happens. Yeah, hey, yeah, B-Dub, if you don't know about the subreddit, that's exactly what we're doing right now. We pull these decks from the subreddit. So if you haven't gotten over there yet, you haven't started posting your decks, post your decks, B-Dub. And you know, if you get the votes, which I ain't gonna lie, my community likes some reanimator stuff. So might lose a couple frames while this is coming up. So we'll deal with that in a second. Everett Power. So far so good. So far so good. Zaxadillo, he's like, I know these Nightbot. Discord maybe? No. I actually try to keep as many people out of the Discord anymore as possible. The Discord was originally meant to be for patrons only, so that I could have even more access to those guys, so that those guys could have more access, or you guys technically could have more access to me. But Discord, I don't like it. Like that's basically like y'all having my phone number, and there's a couple of you guys that have that type of access to me, and as much as I like it, as much as I like doing things with everyone's deck, when everyone has that kind of access to me, it like pretty much consumes most of my afternoon. You guys get off work, and then just all of a sudden I start getting decks sent to me and stuff like that, and it's like, well, you know, I don't know. Not that I don't want to look at everyone's deck, whoever sends me a deck, but like to be able to give back a decent, you know, comment on a deck, like you need to spend more time with it than just looking at it and going, oh, that looks nice, looks good on paper, you know. Like you would have to actually break it down. That's why I play these decks before I try to say, you know, what I like or don't like about them, unless I've played something of that style before, because I don't. Like, I know you're not going to get a lot from a single game, but you can feel a lot of a deck. You can see about how a deck is actually running, or how it feels and things like that in at least one or two games. So, like the first game we played, like both of those games, we seen exactly what our worst fears were, that we were not going to be able to cast that Benelish Marshal on any type of a consistent turn. So you know, that was just not where I wanted to be with that. So yeah, let's see if we can go back next. It's loading. It's loading. We'll wait. Don't worry, Magic. We'll wait. We'll wait for you. We'll wait for you, Matt. Oh, look at that. We still don't have art. Now we lost Knight of Grace. Do we always lose Knight of Grace? Did we ever have Knight of Grace? Well, we got the welcome. We got the welcome back. We got the Pride Mate back. Famished Paladin probably shouldn't be in this deck. I get that it's a 3/3 and you just set it down and it starts blocking, but I don't think it should be in the deck. And personally, with the meta the way it is, I would probably just put the 2 authorities like here and just run it like this and just be done with authority and a Johnny's Welcome. Like, bam, we got it, you know. Don't you love MTGO bugs, right? I mean, the game's only like 10 years old, 15 years old. What, 2004? Yeah, so like little stuff like that should have been dealt with a long time ago. Even if it's housed on my computer, it should be in a better situation that they just... Oh, check. Art didn't load. Next line, reload art. I don't know. Like, write the code for it. Come on. Like, it can't be that hard. Like, logical controllers can handle stuff like this. Oh, didn't load. Reload. Like, oh my goodness. Anyway, so Johnny's Pride Mate's awesome. I love playing with this card. I don't like the Famished Paladin. So, like, out of the cards that we have to work with right here, I would probably run the deck main board something closer to this. Shieldmare is absolutely great in a life gain strategy. I like the fact that we've got cast outs here. I know that you're trying to get to 6 mana for the Resplendent Angel, so 24 lands seems fine, even with you know, the cast outs for cycles and stuff like that. PLC guy. I'm a industrial mechanic, so yeah, I work on textile lines and stuff like that. So yeah, I did a lot of PLCs, a lot of programmable logical controllers and things like that. If this, then that, you know, pretty much. Like, if and or this, then and or that, you know, like was PLCs, just depending on what you're working with. But yeah, ours were a lot of 3-stage motors, stuff like that. So carding machines, most of our PLCs just controlled, you know, the things that like lateral limit switches, like limit switches and stuff. So, you know, if something went too far one way, it would trigger the switch, and then that would, once the switch was triggered, it would reverse the motor, send it back the other way. It would hit the other side, it would reverse, send it back, and then we would adjust the limit switches to adjust how wide the textiles would come out and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm a PLC guy. Yeah. You took some PLC classes in electrical trade school. PLCs are, yeah, they are, man. You can do so much stuff with just simple coding, and believe it or not, if you can do that, that is the basics of most coding right there. Like, you can make machines work with, if this happens, make that happen. Right? Yeah. PLCs, awesome, awesome. Humans got to program everything, but yeah. What do I think? Maybe Paladin of Atonement here. What is Paladin of Atonement? I was going to type in Pally. I played a Paladin on World of Warcraft for a really long time. Okay, so we got Famished Paladin. No. Let's see if we can find this Paladin of Atonement. Cabal Paladin. What is this? Whenever you cast a historic spell. What is this? Finish loading. I want to look at this Cabal Paladin now. Oh, Tocatli Honor Guard. Oh my goodness, yeah. Tocatli Honor Guard might be what you're looking for. So we want only Paladins in Standard. Because this brought up a bunch of stuff. Come on, MTGO! Alright, Paladin of Atonement. At the beginning of each upkeep, if you lost life last turn, put a 1/1 counter on Paladin of Atonement. When Paladin of Atonement dies, you gain life equal to its toughness. Maybe maybe that's exactly where you want to be. I mean, if they swing, you start gaining more. Cabal Paladin. Whenever you cast a historic spell, Cabal Paladin deals 2 damage to each opponent. Oh my goodness! I need this in my Shalai deck. I cast Walking Ballista, do 2 damage, and then get it back, do 2 more damage, like plus the pings that I'm... What? Whatever. Bloodstained Paladin enters the battlefield, create a white... No. What do you need here? Legion's Landing? I mean, Legion's Landing looks really good. Like, Legion's Landing seems great with the sheer number of creatures you have. Like, Legion's Landing would be terrific because, like, okay, I'm gonna make a 1/1 white vampire with lifelink. Okay, now I swung with 3 dudes, and now it's going to be even better than that. Like, Legion's Landing seems like it might be pretty good. I've got the 2 main seal aways. Like, I got rid of the Paladin for seal away. Sacred Cat looks great. Leonin Vanguard is a great little combo with a Johnny Pridemate. I mean, because, like, you're triggering at the beginning of combat, Pridemates instantly get a little bit bigger, things like that. I kind of like where that's going. So yeah, I like Leonin Vanguard here as you know, an early creature. You might even be able to put the Shield Mares or something like that in the sideboard, just because, like, you like bring those in against the red matchups, something like that. Yeah. Well, Poopy Fatty, I was talking about putting it in... Yeah, it's no Flame Tongue Kavu. FTK was a really good card. Even Desert FTK was decent. But, yeah, Cabal Paladin, like, the only time I would put that in my my combo deck, and I would, like, maybe as a one-of when I'm trying to go off. Because you don't need mana there anyway. Cast out for +1 at Johnny's Adversary. What's a Johnny's Adversary? Let's, like, I don't know some of these cards for some reason. Like, what's up with that? But yeah, like, I'm definitely, I really like the Leonin Vanguard. And I like Sacred Cat here. I also think that Shield Mare should probably be in the sideboard somewhere. Which could just give you some more room for some more early creatures. I mean, you're trying to be an aggressive deck, but you're not actually trying to play any aggressive creatures, which is kind of weird. I could see Bound shit being in the deck. I definitely could. So, you know, there's some things. We will help you out with your 4-color dinos, Justin. I will look into your Jodosaurs. We will check out Jodosaurs. Anyway, that's major. Like, that's my major thoughts. I think the deck just needs some more 1-drops, something like that. You're just wanting something else to give you a little bit more oomph in the beginning. And, you know, getting stuck on a bunch of 3-drops is probably not exactly where you want to be. So I think Shield Mare could probably make its way into the sideboard. Famished Paladin could probably leave the deck altogether. If we're going to put in Authority of the Consuls in the main board, then you could probably get rid of the Ajani's Welcomes out of the sideboard. Which you don't have to do that. If you want to run the Welcomes, then run the Welcomes and put the Authorities on the side. But I think Authority is just going to be really good. Glorybound Initiate would be terrific here. But again, you know, you've got some really good 2-drops. I don't think you need much better 2-drops. In what scenario do you bring in Adanto's Vanguard? Like, where do you bring this in? You can't bring it in against red deck because, like, they'll just force you to pay 4 life into it multiple times. If they catch you to the point where you pay 4 life and then they spend, you know, another turn, like, oh, I'm going to shock it. You're going to pay 4 life? Haha, I'm going to go ahead and shock it again. Or they just attack, wait for you to pay 4 life, then shock it, and then now at that point you're paying 8 life to be able to keep it alive. Yeah, I don't know if if like I want this against a red deck or something like that. But I definitely think that I would like this deck to be just a little bit faster, and I think you would achieve that with either Sacred Cat or Leonin Vanguard or Adanto the First Fork, especially if you can flip Adanto. And the guys are right. They're 100% right on Glorybound Initiate just being a really, really solid card. It's going to be rotating soon. But one of the problems with Glorybound Initiate dies to Goblin Chainwhirler, so I'm not really happy about that. And that's probably part of the reason why you don't have cards like Leonin Vanguard or Sacred Cat in the deck. Also, like if you're trying to build this deck for paper, I 100% think I would want a third copy of a Johnny in here, and you could probably slide one of these cast outs into the sideboard. Gideon could probably just leave altogether. If you wanted to run something like Gideon's Intervention or something like that, you could just like play the card and go from there. But yeah, the Leonin Vanguard is a great card to pair with your Johnny's Pridemate. That's kind of where I would want to be with this. Just the Leonin Vanguard or Sacred Cat, or you know, just start pooping out some you know, Vampire tokens. You know, Vampire tokens with lifelink. You know, like if each one of them blocks, that's separate sources of life gain. Leonin. Oh, Leonin. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it. Like, I'm sure chat is giving you a lot of advice on, you know, what they think would be good there. So yeah. But yeah, Vanguard is a 2-drop, homie. Leonin Vanguard is a 1-drop. We're talking about Leonin, not Adanto. It's a 1-drop. 1-drop. Yeah. That's cool though. That's cool though. Anyway, last deck. You guys are going to get to see some of the things you asked about. Some of the things that you wanted to see. Some of the stuff that you've asked for. It's a humans deck. Blue-White Humans by Zaxadillo. None other than the man himself. So if you don't like the deck, take it up with him. Anyway, Spire Patrol. I was actually looking forward to see somebody play Spire Patrol. Spire Patrol enters the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls. That creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. This is kind of cool, but it's a little bit expensive for my taste. I do like some blue-white flyers, though. It is a human soldier, so we're going to be able to do some work with that. Militia Bugler. This card is getting modern play right now. It's getting modern play in 2 decks. Only one of which is actually, you know, just like hosing people. That is the humans deck. This is actually really good with the in the humans deck. There's also getting a little bit of play in the collected company decks. This is a really good target for collected company. You know, you hit this. You get it, plus you get to look at, you know, the top 5 cards of your library. You get to go find something else, or top 4 cards of your library. You get to go find something else. So yeah, I've been waiting to see Bugler in action. Me too, man. I like Bugler. We've got you know, Dauntless Bodyguards here. We've got your Glorybound Initiates. You know, you guys are wanting Glorybound Initiate. We do have the combo Radiant Destiny with Glorybound Initiate. If you get the you know, Radiant Destiny online, they all get the Vigilance. Well, if they all get Vigilance, you can start exerting your Glorybound Initiates every single turn for quite a bit of payoff there. I mean, you're looking at 5/5 with lifelink and Vigilance swinging at you, getting work done. This is an on-the-ground Lyra at that point, boys. So, seems like greatness. Metallic Mimic. Looks like Zaxadillo is getting a little bit of fun in here with Metallic Mimic before that's gone. Now, we did talk about the lands, right? Like, so when we start looking at basic lands, we see 2 islands in the entire deck, and then unclaimed territory, which, if we call human on unclaimed territory, that does fit the criteria of being able to cast Benelish Marshal. So I'm actually okay with that, and that's a really good way to split up your lands to make those do some double duty. Now, one of the things we're not going to do with an unclaimed territory here, we're not going to be able to cast something like a negate off of this. So, you know, that is a thing. That is something we might run into. But we've got the rest of these split lands here. We've got plenty of options to be trying to cast that. So, I did think about Oketcher's Monument the moment I looked at this deck, Jam. The moment I looked at it, I seen Cloud Blazer, and I was like, man, we need Oketcher's Monument. And yeah, that's probably exactly what we needed in this deck was Oketcher's Monument. Probably should have taken the place of the Spire Patrol, but you know, we'll see what happens. Exclusion Mage. Now this is no Reflector Mage. It's not going to get banned. It's not that good. This is more like just Mana War. When Exclusion Mage enters the battlefield, return target creature to its owner controls to its owner's hand. Opponent controls to its owner's hand. So you're not going to be able to bounce the things like your own creatures, but you know, it's you know, just our current Mana War. So. Not bad. The deck does look pretty sweet, and it's pretty straightforward. It's blue-white humans. Everything in the deck's a human, or you know, it could be. You know, it could be. Anyway, let's take a look at the sideboard here. In the sideboard, we've got 4 copies of Negate. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, if you are going blue because you need to be able to beat some of these control decks, don't skimp out. Don't just go 2 blue. Or 2 negates. Like if you mean it, mean it. And that's kind of where I'm at with the Helm of Shalai deck. If this is why we're blue, then this is why we're blue. Like, it is not uncommon for people to splash their deck blue just for negate, and that makes perfect sense. However, we still got cards like Cloud Blazer, and we've got you know, the other flying dude, and we got our Mana War, and you know, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. We do have some Sun Scourge champions, so a little bit of extra life gain. Bard, Steward of Argid. All right, I probably mispronounced that. I'm not even gonna try. But Vigilance: creatures can't attack you or a creature or a planeswalker you control unless their controller pays 1 for each of those creatures. That is one heck of a piece of taxes here in Standard. Seems good. Seems right up Zaxadillo's alley. We've got a couple copies of Settle the Wreckage. We're still a very aggressive deck, but Settle the Wreckage is the perfect thing to allow us to say, okay, look, you're swinging in for this alpha swing. We're just going to settle you and come back in for our own alpha swing. So, yeah. Baird is awesome. Like, I really like Baird. And then 2 Sorcerer Spyglass, so you can call you know, Teferi and you know, go from there. So, you know, we got that super secret tag, right? Super secret taxes tag. I'm pretty sure we're bringing in Baird against everything with a, like, aggressive creature, right? Anyway, let's jump into a game. That's how it works. Secret indeed. Baird looks so much better after Chandra rotates. Right? Oh my goodness. Like, I didn't even think about that. Like, how many things are we going to be able to play when Fatal Push and Chandra rotate? I mean, come on. We won the dice roll. Let's do this. Let's do it. Let's do it to it. I mean, we need a land. I'm going to keep it, though. It's not a horrible hand. We get stuff. Just toss these around like we don't. Okay, opponent. You're going to 6. What's going on? What's going on, opponent? Opponent. This deck will be gas after Fatal Push and a Braid are gone. A Braid. That's a card I didn't actually expect to go to Modern. I didn't think it was good enough. But just modes, options, it makes it good enough. I mean, I know the card's good, but I didn't think it was Modern good. And now we're seeing it in Modern decks. I mean, Lightning Bolt a creature or pop an important artifact. So, I mean, with KCI being a good deck in Modern, I guess like they really needed something like Ancient Grudge or something like that. But it seems like Ancient Grudge would just be better, right? Because you can use it, flash it back. Is there an organized button on MTGO? Probably not. I mean, like, you can sort things. Like, we can always hit sort, but you can't just make it always put your lands to one side and things like that. You just can't do it. Untap land off the top. Let's do this. Have I been playing Modern? What all formats am I into? So Magic's kind of like forcing Modern on the population, right? Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but ever since like Channel Fireball took over all the tournaments and everything like that, like, it's just, there's so much Modern. And I get it. There's a lot of you out there that just love Modern. I'm not that guy. I am not. Granted, most of the cards in Modern came out after I started playing Magic, so I know most of the cards in Modern, or at least the ones that that make a damn, that really do something. Hey, look, we got it. I really want to Metallic Mimic into a Benelish Marshal, and then, but I also want to just Knight of Grace here. Also, just want to like throw it on my Radiant Destiny and start trying to go to work like next turn. But I don't think I'm just gonna like die. I don't think I've got lethal. So like the idea is like, what's the best way to get set up? So I'm just gonna go with my Metallic Mimic, call humans, and go from there. So yeah, Benelish Marshal would have given everything a +1 too. So you think Bugler is the play? Like, you just wanted to maximize mana, right? We just drew a land. I don't really want to hit Bugler and like get rid of the lands off the top of my library, because I'm just like, I'm banking that on top of this library there's a land. I'll take this. Like, I'm not worried about 2 points of damage here. Banking on a land. That was not a land. It was so not a land. But yeah, Bugler's fine here. Like, so this is almost the deck we were just playing against. See, the cat and Anointed Priest, it seems good, right? Like, he's clearly trying to like make some angels. Look at, there's our lands. Power 2 or less. Whiff. Well, if we played it last turn, we'd have got a Metallic Mimic. Yeah, I messed up. Yeah, I butchered it. You're a straight standard guy. I have been a straight standard guy because that's where I felt that competitive Magic was if you couldn't play standard, you couldn't play competitive Magic. You couldn't play draft, you couldn't play competitive Magic. I like draft, but draft is like, you know, $25 a pop here on Magic Online, and I don't have a collection or want a collection on Magic Online, so drafting on Magic Online is like just not my thing. Not that the channel might not get there at some point to where, you know, we can afford to do stuff like that, but I don't think I'm there right now. So, you know, like draft's kind of out of the question, even though I like draft, but it's out of the question. He wanted to flip it. I mean, kill it. I will 100% try to kill the Anointer and Priest. The Priest of Anointment. Boros Bones is going to come in here and he's going to be like, yo, your accent sucks. You personally love Modern and Legacy, but the reserve list is to make it too expensive for new players to get into. Mason, manatraders, dog. With manatraders, it doesn't matter. You don't have to own the cards. You just play all you want to play, dude. Like, just, you can get any deck you want and just play the hell out of it. Just do whatever you want to do. Ooh, next turn, this is going to be really, really good. This is going to be good. It's good, it's good, it's good. I I like... Next turn we go Metallic Mimic into Knight of Grace. So maybe we just Benelish Marshal or Radiant Destiny this turn. Like, I would love to drop Benelish Marshal on the battlefield with 2 Metallic Mimics. But am I just being too greedy with that play? Maybe. Maybe I am. Maybe I am. Like, we're not just dying here, so... Humans. Calling humans. Right? Yeah. Yeah, manatraders is great. Like, oh my goodness. Like, if you think that you know, a $1,200 deck is out of the question, then just pay like $35 a month and then like rent it and go from there. I mean, I get it. Some of you may not want to pay that much a month, but it's got vigilance, so we can get around like having, you know, seal wave or something like that. So. Yeah, cool. We got a little punch in there. A little punch. A little puncheroo. Oh, we're screwed. Sorry, Zax. Can't beat that horse. How do we beat the horse? How do you beat the horse, Zax? How do you beat the horse? We don't, right? You can't beat the horse. Untap land off the top. Gives us, like, a hope on a prayer. Humans. Colorless, Metallic Mimic. Human. Marshall. And we got the city's blessing. Hey, city's blessing. We don't even get art on the city's blessing. No art on the city's blessing. I don't know what to do. If we swing, we give him another horse. Like, we're huge, but without Settle the Wreckages in the main board, I don't think we can do anything. If we can build like this ground force, we can start like just beating him in the face with these Spire Patrols, which might be a thing. He gains life, he just passes his turn, he makes another horse, and yep, that's the thing. Taking a beating. Beating. Just taking a beating. I mean, this is pretty mean. I hate playing decks that don't have removal. Feels so bad, man. Like, they just get this one key creature and it's like, well, you know, so what are you gonna do about it? So we have to Spire Bluff, tap down this thing. We can't have it keep punching us in the face. I mean, yeah, it's a 7/6 with Vigilance. That's a thing, right? 7/6 with Vigilance? 7/6 with Vigilance, anyone? No? Yeah, but like, what are we gonna do about the horses? That's the sideboard, guys. That's the sideboard. So we're gonna need Settler Wreckages and that's about it. Like, we need lifelink. Like, if this was 7-6 with link, we'd start getting somewhere. We would start getting somewhere. I mean, at least it's got vigilance, though. I mean, this Glorbound Initiate's gonna be huge. I mean, we're not out of it. By no means. And we're punching him in the face. I mean, that's a punch right there. Looks like we're going late tonight. Rocker, what's up, sir? Rocker, welcome to the party. Check the little information icon right here. Right. Everyone, if you want to check out Rocker's stream, click the little information icon, and you'll see like my Ballista deck, and then you'll also see Rocker's Revel in Riches YouTube video. So check him out. See what he's got going on. He's playing a little arena for you guys. All right. Yep. This is getting a little out of hand. We need some life gain here. Another priest! Oh no. Oh no. Well, Cloud Blazer, oh, one time. Cloud Blazer, one time. Zax, I can't say that your deck's not performing here, though. I mean, we've got a hell of a board state. Like, this is nice. Like, the fact that your deck is, you know, it's putting all of this together, everything's lining up, that is great. That is absolutely terrific. Like, all the lords is just awesome. It seems great. It smells fishy. You. Anyway, yeah, I like what you got. What? He just scooped on us, Zax. He just scooped on us. He's like, how do I beat this? Well, I don't know how you beat it either. Because we had more lords coming. Well, I guess in the end, every creature we get would be just bigger than him, and he didn't want to deal with the math, so, you know. Was watching SummerSlam with some buddies, so you didn't know if you was going to make it or not. Well, I'm glad you could. I'm glad you could. We need more Cloud Blazers, right? Needs more Cloud Blazer. Needs more Cowbell. The problem is no removal. I am with Jan on the no removal. Zaxadillo has that effect on people. He just runs people away. Opponent, right? Opponent just scooped. You watch a lot of Saffron Olive, don't you? Opponent. He pretty much did that to us. Like, Saffron Olive has had a huge, like, I highly expect Saffron Olive to enter the Magic Hall of Fame. From what I understand about entering the Magic Hall of Fame is you need to have an impact on the game. And Saffron Olive hasn't done that. He has already had a huge impact on the game. Just by the way he plays, like just the overall, you know, awareness of Magic and things like that. And the community, you know, he's been part of. Like, he's become such a name that I expect, yeah, it gets in your head, dude. He does. Saffron Olive, or Seth, is, he's definitely, I don't have any say in it, but I would give him, oh, my wife hates it. My wife hates his voice, right? Oh my god, yeah. But yeah, I think that he deserves at least you know, something. Like, if their criteria is you need to have made a huge impact on the game, then Saffron Olive is there. Even if he hasn't won as many as other things, he should be in, or at least considered for the Hall of Fame for that very reason. So yeah, I think he's had a huge impact on me. So, and he does want to show bad games like the one against Dusk. And he doesn't want to show bad games like the one against... No, right? Okay, so he does have an impact on prices because he has such a following. And granted, people don't like watching YouTube videos of people losing at Magic. No one wants to watch a deck that's losing. Like, oh, this deck's losing, and they leave. So I get where he's coming from on, you know, recording videos and then posting the highlights, you know, of only, you know, those action-packed turns and things like that. That's how you make good entertainment. But, you know, and then again, I'm the live guy. You're gonna get it raw. You're gonna get it live. Even when I record my videos, they're one shot. I don't edit them, so you get the real deal. And that was kind of one of the things I was stuck on. Was I wanted to make sure that we were you know, being real. Our opponent scooped. We're gonna get into one more game here, Zax. We're gonna get into one more thing. Sounds like he's pooping on the entire time. It's rare anymore that people start out with this. Like, I know I don't do it unless someone talks to me. I usually spend most of my time talking to you guys. So, yeah. All right, here we go. We're gonna take the play. We've got 2 lands. We can get a Knight of Grace down, and then just kind of go from there. If we get into these Cloud Blazers, it's gonna be good times. It's gonna be good times. If we get into these Militia Buglers, it's going to be good times. He does have a stream replay channel, so I mean you can go back through it and you can watch stuff. I've got nothing bad to say about Sephiroth. Like, I just said that I think that he should be considered for the Magic Hall of Fame. Like, well, this plays on Fatal Push. So, yeah, raw and uncut, right? You get the raw dog right there. Knight of Grace may secretly be one of the best 2-drops in Magic Standard right now. Secretly. Okay, I'm gonna take a chance. I'm gonna take a chance. Oh, he pushed it. Got him. That Knight of Grace got him. You ain't pushing my Knight of Grace. And then we'll just start next turn by, like, Militia Bugler. I just wanted to try to get that down. I know we would have spent mana a little bit. Played against Dragons. I don't know if you beat Dragons, sir. I know your deck's good, but I don't think you beat Dragons. Katie, you're not the only person who feels that way. You're not the only person that feels that way. My wife makes fun of him. Like, she's like, probably better known as, because her name's Vanessa, but so many of our friends know us from World of Warcraft, and her handle is Val or Valentine. Since we first started dating, we were playing World of Warcraft together, and in most circles, we were always, I'm just going to play another Bugler. In most circles, we were playing World of Warcraft, and the people in our group knew us as Kilo and Val, which Kilo is my last name, so that makes sense anyway, but since most people knew us that way, it kind of stuck. Like, I call her Val when I'm talking to other people. I'm like, you know, it's Val. I mean, if you get in chat and you do something like Val, I think even Nightbot knows her as Val. I could be wrong. Yeah, there we go. So even Nightbot knows her as Val. forget where I was going with this. Oh, yeah. We were going to play the Metallic Mimic, and then we were going to play the Glorbound Initiate, so that we didn't just get Goblin Chain Warlord out, right? In this deck that probably doesn't have Goblin Chain Warlord. But yeah, she'll do the thing of, hi, I'm Vanessa, probably better known as Valentine. But yeah. This dude's removal though. Yeah, he's gonna play like a Dragon Egg right here and then pay 3 mana and get it all back. If this is a Dragon Egg, I'm gonna... I'm just gonna start Cloud Blazer, dude. I'm just gonna Cloud Blazer it up. We're just gonna blaze in there. We're just blazing. We are blazing. Oh. Alright. So next turn we're like Metallic Mimic, Dauntless Bodyguard. Double up. He is almost to the point where he can Glorybringer bring back like 4 Spit Flames. 3 Spit Flames. The opponent said, I swear I have 20 creatures in here. I get it though. I mean, it happens. Yeah, we're gonna go human. Dauntless Bodyguard. We're probably just going to try to protect our biggest Metallic Mimic. So I think that's like the best thing we can do is just try to protect the biggest Metallic Mimic. But what's sad is we've already seen the Vraska's Contempt. So, alright. Well, I'll sacrifice that so you can't gain life, of course. But we've already seen the Yahini's Expertise, so he could definitely just start getting him the Yahini's Expertise and do some works there. Mr. Willig, we're on the last one, man. This is the last deck right here. Right here, right now. It's a Demanding Dragon. Oh, he's demanding. Oh man, he didn't leave up double red. Ooh, misclick. Misclick opponent. I'll get rid of the Blazer. It's done its thing. Alright, well, I mean... Cloud Blazer's still just a 4/4 here. Let's see if we can dig our way into something else here. We've already played our land for the turn, so I actually just need to find... I can hit him for 5 just like that. Bam. 5. I like this. And that's not a horrible play right there. Just bounce it. We've got a 4/4. Just get in there. Just get it. Sweet. Yeah, I mean the replay should be going up as soon as I'm done. You could also just rewind, go from there. Like putting it back in his hand, like he didn't make the mistake of not tapping the proper mana. Alright, well, I mean... Another exclusion mage off the top, and we win. Another exclusion mage off the top. We win, right? Could that happen? Oh, no, never mind. We wouldn't win. We wouldn't win. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3. Nope. Nope. It's still pretty good, though. I think I still play this. The power of bounce creatures. The power of bounce creatures, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to put him low. We're going to lay him low. Dusk Dawn is perfect here. I mean, don't we lose everything? I mean, we get back everything with the Dawn part, or Dawn part, but Dusk just kills everything. No, I'm not sacking a dude. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. You gonna have to shoot my dude. Gonna have to shoot me because everything I got is lethal. No matter, I'm still lethal. Is this instant? It's a damn instant. Alright, 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 alright. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That was kind of the big deal right there. We were just gonna make everything huge, and yeah, there we go. You built something. Yes, you did, Zax. I like how you kept it in blue black or blue white though. You're like, okay, I want to be aggressive, but I'm a blue white player. This is what happens when blue white goes, hey, I don't want to play control this weekend, but I only purchased blue white lands, and you end up with Militia Bugler and 12 Lords and stuff like that. So in all reality, I actually think that I want some bigger dudes, like you know, Bard's going to be great, but Bard's also going to make him want to sit back on the back burner and do things. He's got a lot, I mean, a ton of removal, which, you know, negate seems like that would be terrific against. Glorybound Initiate seems like it'd be good. The opponent said he couldn't find any card draw or dragons that game. Anyway, the opponent said the opponent's being really polite. He's actually talking and things like that. And I actually encourage most of you guys to do that. So check out your Esper Humans deck. Okay, seems good. Esper Humans seems good. Glorybound Initiate. What do we change? What do we bring in, Zax? It's your deck. Yeah, exactly. We survived how much removal? Like, do we need more removal? I won't settle. Like, if he's bringing in the dragons and he's going to do big stuff, I'm going to take settle. These Spire Patrols might be great. Just tap down and we'll move through there. Only get through that dragon. That actually may be where I want to be. Exclusion Mage seems good. I'm gonna roll with it like this. It's probably wrong, Zach. Sun Scourge to bounce back from removal? Nah. Sunscourge would be to gain life against red deck. I don't think that's like where, like, you still have to have a card in your hand to bring that Sunscourge back. You have to discard a card to bring that back. So you're not gaining any card advantage. No, it's not as recursive as you'd think. You're still losing a card for it. You're not gaining a card. It would be really recursive if you could, like, if it didn't cost you a card out of your hand to be able to bring it back. So I think Sunscourge is just really, really there for some life gain. Now you can ask Zax about how he feels about Sunscourge Champion and whether he thinks that's a a legit statement or not. But that's how I feel about Sunscourge Champion. Bodyguard's usually a game 1 card. Snap Keep. Sneep. It's a sneep. Snap Keep. I like it. I like it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Have we thought about Knight of Grace? If not already in there? Nah, we're not going to play with Knight of Grace, James. Like, not in a humans deck. It's a knight, dude. This is humans. Okay? This is humans. This is not knights. And Knight of Grace is clearly a knight. It says so in the name. It's not. Too facetious? Was it too much? Was that too much? I'm sorry. I am sorry. I was being too douchey. I was being a fiduciary. That's actually got something to do with taxes. I don't even know what it is, but that's a real word. Why do we want to get killed here? Like, this thing could be huge. Like, let's test and see if he's got Fatal Push or if he's got his Dragon Burns. It's also a human. No way. You mean Knight of Grace is also a human? Ah, whatever. Alright. If you say so. Maybe we should put Knight of Grace in here. I don't think you should play a white aggressive deck without Knight of Grace in it right now. And that's just being real. Like, I don't think you should play aggressive style decks in white without playing Knight of Grace. Right now, with Fatal Push being what it is it's probably one of the most powerful cards, aggressive cards in white. The first strike is relevant. It's big enough to survive, Chain Whirler. There's the egg. The egg! Like, I'm loving these unclaimed territories. Like, this is where you want to be, man. Unclaimed territory, like, yeah, it's not Cavern of Souls, but feels like it. Like, unclaimed territory is a real deal, man. I like it. This is the egg. So, like, we could kill this, and then, yeah, I'm just gonna swing here. And then I will Mana War that egg. He ain't gonna do it. So is this just like Glorybound Initiate Pass? Which I'm okay with. Yeah, I'm okay with it. I mean, it's not the best use of our mana, but I'm also not worried about like Sky Patrol right now. I want to use this to like really get him later. So I'm just gonna Glorybound Initiate Pass. And just go from there. Love to hit some like Buglers or something like that. Oh my god, that would be so good. Crop Mate is slow. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Paragon of the New Dawns. Devoted Crop Mate. Like, do we even need like something of that nature? Like, do we even need that? I wish this gave Vigilance. Oh my goodness, if it was +1/+1 in Vigilance, this would have been the one gotten banned, not Rami not. Alright. Since I've got double Mana Wars, we can do it. I don't think we should not do it either. So I'm gonna play our Spire Patrol here and tap down the egg so he can't like get the egg killed. So yeah, we'll tap down the egg, and then I mean, he's probably got the removal, or he's just holding a handful of dragons that we're not at yet. So I'm just gonna hit him in the face just as hard as we can right here. Just punch him. He's a really nice opponent too. It's not something like I would want to hit this person, but we're just gonna punch him really hard. I mean, he's probably just gonna kill this, right? Yeah. Okay. We punch him anyway. Punchy, punchy. Punchy, punchy. Madness says, SideboardMTG, yo! So you decided to actually test out 2 Sheltering Light as a sideboard against destruction base removal. Lets you scry 1 and makes a dude indestructible until end of turn. Seems good. I mean, making indestructible seems fine. Alright, he's at 14. We hit him for 7. We okay. Nope. Nope. We're doing it again. Like, I know I'm playing the mage. Like, I just know it. This is where I want to be. And then I just want to go get some more stuff. Yeah, another bugler. Doesn't that sound like just perfect? Yeah. Just keep punching him in the face. So now he needs to have like a ton of removal, and he needs to have his dragon. His dragon costs 5 mana. Like, Demanding Dragon is no Glorybringer. Okay? It's not even close to Glorybringer. Glorybringer doesn't give them a choice. Glorybringer says, you have an answer for it right now. That's your only choice. Answer before I enter combat. Move to combat. You know, like, that's what Glorybringer does. This goes down and goes, do you want to sacrifice one of your dudes or take 5 damage? Like, yeah. Yeah, it's not a Glorybringer. So that was a contempt. We know he's got... I mean, we can just draw another Benevolent Marshal. What? Because that's a thing. We're lethal right here? Let's go for it. I thought we were going to die, Zax. I really thought we were going to die. Demanding Dragon is broken, Eric? What do you mean it's broken? How's it broken? Panharmonicon Demanding Dragon. Cool. I take 10, or I don't take 10. It is still my choice. And based on the cards in my hand, or the cards on my battlefield, it'll be awesome. Now, if you can Panharmonicon Demanding Dragon, but you've kept the board clear, then you've removed the choice. And at that point, that's a major deal. But no, it's Demanding Dragon may be good, okay? May be broken. It ain't Glorybringer. It ain't as good as you guys think it is. Like, without help. So you mean in order for me to have this Glorybringer-esque style dragon, it is like Glorybringer? No, it's not like Glorybringer. It has a choice attached to it. Glorybringer does not have a choice attached to it. Okay? And if you need Panharmonicon to make Demanding Dragon good, that means that you had to take like an entire turn off to do nothing that turn. So like that's why Panharmonicon doesn't show up in these like amazing decks, but yet we have you know, Champion of Wits in everything. Like Chupacabra and Panharmonicon are broken, right? But that's like Panharmonicon is a 4-mana do nothing the turn that it comes out, right? So you never want to give the opponent choices. No, you never want to make, like, Sword Point Diplomacy, cool card. But if your opponent is holding Vraska's Contempt and Fatal Push, and you flip over land and 2 dudes, and like it could be Rekindling Phoenix and I don't know whatever else is good, Rekindling Phoenix and something else, and they're like, you know what, you can have it. But if they didn't have a Vraska's Contempt in hand, they're just going to say, fine, okay, so if I let him have the Rekindling Phoenix, then he gets to hit me for 4. Or I just take 3 right now, and I'll never have to deal with that Rekindling Phoenix again. Yeah, it doesn't work as well as you want it to. Torment of Hellfire, there you go. You think that Torment of Hellfire would be an amazing thing, but how rare do we actually see a good Torment of Hellfire deck go off? Yes, you're going to have those games where you torment for 14 or 15, and hell, you've removed the choice. At that point, you've got a good card. But without, like, that is the whole point around my Pia's Revolution deck, was that's why I don't call it like an awesome deck, is because they still have a choice. Like, there are lines where if the opponent makes the right choice, they destroy me. So you can't play this against a really, really good player, because he's going to make the right choice. He's just going to take the damage or something. Well, one of the reasons about my Breaking Ballista deck was I wanted to turn Demanding Drag. Any 5-power creature is great with Unsealing. You know, okay, so Demanding Dragon's good, but any 5-power creature is great with Unsealing. You know what else is good with Sarkhan's Unsealing? Anything with 7 power. You know, like, just because there's niche situations where a card's good does not mean that that card is good. Almost everything can be good in the right situation. That's kind of one of the things we do as Magic players and deck builders, is we try to find that one situation where you can make this card good. Oh, Galt of Thraxos, right? Like, like everything's good, right? Yeah, everything's good in that niche situation. And as deck builders, we're trying to find those niche situations where this is good or that is good. And in those situations, you're right. Like, things are just great. Like, okay, so you try to build your entire deck over making this situation happen so that your cards can be at their absolute utmost power. And that's when you have really powerful cards. And if you have cards that kind of stand alone and are just naturally good by themselves, and they're naturally good with other cards, then you have a natural deck to work around. Kind of like Bomat Courier and Hazret. They're just good together, right? Same reason Combustible Gearhulk never saw any play. Right, exactly. Even though it's probably one of the best Gearhulks you could get, I mean, it's a 6/6 with First Strike, for crying out loud, even if you don't even look at the rest of the abilities. But, like, it's still a 6/6 for 6 with First Strike. It's a good card. But, like, just, that is Magic. Like, you gotta pick a card. You know what? I like this card. Let me try to break this card as much as possible. Let me give this card absolutely all of the support that it needs to make it an awesome card, to make awesome plays. And if you can give it that support, and you can give it a curve going up to that support, going up to that situation, if you can play other cards that help you build that situation, then you end up with something like Mono Green Aggro. Oh my goodness! Steel Leaf Champion is amazing. What happens if we could get him out a turn earlier? Oh my god, they printed Land War Elf. Now we can turn to Steel Leaf Champion. Broken. You know, like, that's where we're at, guys. Demanding Dragon can't get rid of anything. If I say no, I take the damage. Right? Like, you get that, right? Like, it's not going to get rid of an indestructible creature. You know, Doomfall can get rid of an indestructible creature too. But if you have a 1/1 servo there, Doomfall will never get rid of a Carnage Tyrant. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, Demanding Dragon could make them sacrifice a Carnage Tyrant. If you built a situation where turns 1 through 5, when you play your Demanding Dragon, you had them down to the point where they had no choice but to sacrifice life. So if I was going to play Demanding Dragon, I'd want to be in the absolute meanest early chip damage deck that I could possibly get in, so that they didn't have any choice. Like, you want to remove the choice. So cards that give a choice are not necessarily bad. When your opponent is able to make the choice is what's bad. Alright? I want all y'all to remember I just said that, right? Cards that give a choice are not necessarily bad. But when the opponent is given the opportunity to make that choice, it's bad. Remember, your opponent is always going to choose what is best for them, right? If you destroying my indestructible hexproof guy is not going to be good for me, then I'm probably just going to take the 5 damage. Like, I can't beat that horse in the head enough, right? Like, PETA don't get me. Come on, that's a saying. Let's not go there. Anyway, like, yeah. Unless that choice is fact or fiction. That's not a choice, that's a headache. That is a headache. Because in the end, you make that choice. In the end, the final choice on fact or fiction is yours. It's not Steam Augury. Steam Augury, you're going to make the piles, they're going to choose which one you get. Fact or fiction, they're going to make the piles, then you pick which one you need. In the end, you get to pick which one's best for you. So when you're looking at cards that give a choice, you need to think about, how can I maximize this choice in my favor? So, like, by all means, guys, Demanding Dragon, broken card. So what can we do to make that choice favor us? What can we do to flex that choice so that we can make it favor us in multiple matchups? Because in certain matchups, you may actually want the choice to be, I need them to sacrifice creatures. So you may need to have enough removal so that they can sacrifice creatures or sacrifice the proper creature, whereas you also may want to be able to have enough damage or early creatures that you've pressured their life total enough that they don't have a choice but to sacrifice a creature. However, if you haven't pressured their life total, if they have multiple creatures down, you're going to get their worst creature, or you're just going to take 5 life. Like, you guys get where I'm coming from with that? Like, I don't get why we could still be on this topic of cards that give the opponent a choice could be good. Like, I mean, granted, because I'm the one talking and I'm staying on the topic, but yeah, that's really where we are when it comes to cards that give choices, guys. Like, you just can't. You can't, like, you can't just willy-nilly throw them in any deck. You can't just go, ooh, I'm playing a Dragon's deck. Let's throw fucking 4 demanding... I said that word. Throw 4 Demanding Dragons in the deck. Like, you just can't do that. Like, build the deck around it, and you're good. Afflict. There you go. Block or take damage. That's an acceptable choice most of the time. Liliana the Veil, Ultimate. Yeah, there's a choice for you. Some choices are just never good for the opponent. You know, you can take bad or you can take worse, right? They're still going to only take bad. They're not going to take worse. So, in a way, you know, yeah. Demanding Dragon didn't win the game for our opponent, did it? That's right. Broken card didn't win. Bone Dragon is better. I keep hearing about Bone Dragon. Bone Dragon is better, right? All right, guys. If you're still there and you were talking about refurbishing Gearhulks or Godpharaoh's Gift Gearhulks, we discovered, and if you don't know this already, Meteor Golem has to be in that deck, okay? If you're GPGing back stuff, make sure you're GPGing back Meteor Golems right now. It's a lot of fun. It's killer. It's colorless. You can get it in any deck. 7 converted mana cost. Don't worry about it. Throw it in the graveyard, bring it back with GPG. It's great. It's actually bigger when you bring it back with GPG. Anyway, yeah. We done slayed that dragon. That dragon's slayed. He's dead. Zax, man, I don't know what I would change about your deck, man. The deck was sweet. Jeez, it was sweet. Good shit, dude. It was a good deck. It was a lot of fun to play. Everybody else that submitted your decks this week, you got a ton of votes. It was awesome to see your decks. They were They're very cool. I like the fact that y'all kind of gave a theme, and I didn't ask for a theme. We played a lot of white aggro decks today, which was kind of cool. So yeah, you know, right? Go Zaxadillo, yeah. The deck was fun, man. I like it, and it looks like you've definitely you put up some answers here. For those of you wondering why I didn't play Sultai Reanimator yesterday, I was testing it, and I'm dying to Wizards non-stop. Wizards is they're giving it to me pretty hard. All right, like I can't seem to beat Wizards, so I gotta go back to the Sultai Reanimator brews and see what we can do about the Wizards decks, because mono red is still just, it runs over me, and there's a ton of it right now, and I really want to be able to present that Sultai Reanimator deck with a little bit of you know, confidence that we can take it into games and stuff like that. And right now I just don't have that. Might have to continue working on that. If you'll notice, I've actually even pulled up mono red Wizards so I can play around with the matchup a little bit more, so I can figure out how to beat the deck a little bit more. Seems like if you can gain about 7 to 10 life, then there's nothing they can do about it. Yeah. So anyway, guys, my name's Eric, SideboardMTG. I had a ton of fun hanging out with you guys. The rant there at the end, some of you like that, and then some of you just left at the rant, but you know, whatever. 10-4, good buddy. 10-4 neighbor. Yeah, they don't say good buddy on CBs anymore. It's a neighbor now. Yeah. Anyway, guys, we'll see you next time here on SideboardMTG. It really was. This was a fun subscriber Sunday. Thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. For those of you going back to school, going back to work, everything else tomorrow, have fun, and don't forget to check out Rocker CCR's video up here of his Reveling Riches. Give him some love, give him a like, you know, subscribe, whatever it is you're gonna do if you like him, yeah, that's all I've got. Take care.